Welcome friends back to our channel where we talk about plant-based eating for busy people. Okay, I love what plant-based eating does for my body, and we concentrate on healthy plant-based eating, as you very well know. I just am always looking for the hacks, the things that will be fast and easy, because I live in a fast food world. You live in a fast food world. It's too tempting. It's too tempting to drive through and grab something when you have been out and about all day. You're starving, hungry, and added to the fact that fast food tastes good is the fact that you don't want to have to go home and chop and wash and cook and do all those things. So something that I just like obsess about is healthy food, plant-based food that is as quick as fast food. So breakfast, we've already said here on the channel and other places, I just do not want to be cooking breakfast, but I like a good breakfast. I like savory stuff, so I like to have breakfast options that I'm not going to have to cook. And so I'm here to show you one of those today. And this one is really exciting. When you talk about fast food, this is quicker and faster and easier than driving through and getting anything. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I do to make this fast. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make tofu eggs, and I'm sure that you've done that already. I'm sure that I'm going to show you how we do it, but the seasonings are key, and we're starting with as a base recipe, we're starting with a recipe from plantwise.com, our favorite plant-based website. We've tweaked it just a little bit, and then we've added a couple hacks to make it faster and easier even still. So that's what we'll be making today. And so what I want to show you is even the seasonings are hard for me, guys. That if I am needing some food fast, I know that making tofu eggs is so easy. I can have that with toast or with a whole wheat English muffin, with a fruit and a vegetable, and that is a very balanced, wonderful meal for breakfast or for lunch. But then I start to thinking, I'm going to have to look up the recipe. I'm going to have to, rifle through my spice cupboard, which you guys are probably organized with your spices. I am not. Find the things that I need, and I do like this recipe, but it does have a few different spices in it. So I thought, you know what, why not make ahead little packets that are just done and just perfect for tofu eggs. One 16-ounce block of tofu. All you have to do is crumble it in a pan and pour this on top. As you can see, I do that very, very often because I'm down to my last packet. And I just usually fill this up with those packets, and they are ready to go. So I'll show you how I make the packets. No big deal, but we'll just make them together. And then we'll cook up some eggs for lunch today. I'm doing this for lunch. So you'll see how easy this is. Okay, I just used these little square snack bags. Actually, honestly, if any of you have a better idea for how to store these little packets of seasoning, I would really be open to that. I would love to hear your thoughts. I don't love to use plastic bags for multiple reasons, so I've just been thinking in my head something fast and easy that I could do besides the bag. So please, please, please let me know of any ideas that you might have in that regard. So I think I'll just make like 6 of these right now. You're gonna love this so much. It just is such a simple but amazing little hack. So we're gonna go ahead with nutritional yeast. I don't buy it this way. I buy it in bulk at Winco. Is my favorite way to get nutritional yeast. Super, super inexpensive that way. I know that not everybody who watches this has the luxury of Winco, so but you can find it all over the place. It's on Amazon. We'll put a link to Amazon because I have bought it on Amazon in a pinch, but you should be able to find it at all of your local grocery stores. It's there. It's usually in the baking aisle with the spices and stuff. So for this, we're going to use 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast for each packet. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill up each packet with the nutritional yeast. I ran out there, so this is actually how I usually keep it in the pantry. Just wanted to use that up so I can now get rid of this container and just go to this because we go through a lot of nutritional yeast. I'm sure you guys have discovered the same thing. It's awesome stuff. It's got protein. It's got a high concentration of protein for the amount that you usually use in recipes. It makes things taste cheesy. It's fortified with B12, which is something that plant-based people have to watch. Okay, then the next thing we're going to do is garlic powder and onion powder. So we're going to do a half a teaspoon of each in every packet. So I'll just do that. Next is turmeric. I buy my turmeric at my local natural grocers, and I'm just going to use a 1/4 teaspoon of that. So this adds the color, which is so nice. It kind of, your brain likes to eat yellow scrambled eggs, so that's what this does. And then of course it adds nutrition. Turmeric is one of those superfood spices, and good for all kinds of things health-wise, and it adds to the flavor. It's a nice these eggs are super flavorful, super good. Everyone that I have made them for loves them, and that's not an exaggeration. That's my plant-based and non-plant-based family members. They're just really good, and you can use them in burritos and I don't know, fried rice and everything else you want to use them in as well. But we eat them plain a lot for breakfast and often for lunch. So I'm doing about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I used to use black salt, and you still can if you like that extra egg flavor. But I've just gotten to where I like the salt fine, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of how I feel. And then I just like a little bit of a dash of pepper in each bag. And then that is a nice little addition, a little more flavor there. And you can add salt and pepper as you cook it as well. So then I just kind of squish out the air, and then I just store them in this bag or in this container on my pantry shelf. And then can you see how beneficial this could be? As simple as it is, that I can just crumble up a block of tofu and then throw on this spice, and I am done. So there we are. There is our container full. And I'm going to go ahead and give you some numbers about the difference between eggs and tofu eggs, because these are so tasty, but you're really gonna get excited when you find out how much more nutritious they are. So I'll give you those numbers at the end. Stick with me. Okay, you know what would be fun is to hear some of your experiences about tofu. Like, I'm wondering if a lot of you were like me and just really weirded out by it when you started your plant-based journey. Like, it took me a long time to even try it. And then even then I wasn't completely on board. Now my fridge is full of it. Our very, very top tofu recipe is our tofu deli meat recipe, and that's got tens of thousands of views here on our channel, and it is extraordinary. Like, we eat that probably on a weekly basis, but there are so many other recipes we have that are absolutely just favorites, and I have come to absolutely adore tofu. So I would be curious to know your experience, if you loved it right off the bat or how that went. So I'm just using the extra firm, and you don't have to press it. I just poured the liquid off, but I've got a hot pan here, so I do like to start with a hot pan. You don't need any oil. All we're really doing is warming the tofu, so you don't have to brown it or anything. But I do like to cook off some of the liquid, cook off the liquid so that it's just the consistency that I like. So you can see how this would be. I come home, I've been running around, or I wake up in the morning and I've got to be someplace, and I'm like, what should I do for breakfast? I'll do tofu eggs. So literally, I grab a block of tofu out of the fridge, crumble it in a hot pan like this, and then let me wash my hands here. And then I literally get out my little pack of seasonings and sprinkle it on top, and I am done. I have an English muffin toasting over there. That is it. Like, I'm not sure. I think this is faster than eggs. Let me grab my spatula. Yeah, so I'm going to mix this around to just get the spices mixed in. I like this cast iron pan because I can scrape at it and I don't feel nervous about, or a stainless steel. I like cast iron and stainless steel the best because then I can use my metal spatulas and not worry. So just mix this in a little bit. You can see it looks awesome. And I've got a whole wheat English muffin toasting over there on the counter. I'm going to have some peas with this just on the side. I learned from plantwise.com that if I have a vegetable and a fruit with every meal, and I'll often have two of either one of those, 2 vegetables and a fruit, or a vegetable and 2 fruits. Actually, I kind of try to lean that direction. So 3 fruits and vegetables with each meal. That includes breakfast. Even if you're not accustomed to that, you're going to get the fiber and the nutrients that you need. It's so important. I have friends who we're on a, we watch our calories together and we watch our food. We're trying to balance our blood sugars and things like that, which I have had raging success with thanks to the Plantwise plate and program, and I've talked about them in many other videos. But it boils down to just a few simple things, and one of them is that fruit and vegetable trick. And my friends who are doing other things, because we're also trying to prioritize protein, they will often set the fruits and veggies to the side for the sake of counting calories, and they don't want to, waste their calories on fruits and vegetables because it doesn't have the protein that they're looking for or things like that. But that is a critical error. When you are sure to include those fruits and vegetables, it will automatically do all kinds of things. It will kick down the fat content of your food, of your meals. All generally speaking, it will up the fiber content significantly. And fiber is the forgotten nutrient. It makes the systems in your body work, including your blood sugars. The tragedy that so many people have in their lives is that when their blood sugar is problematic, they cut out fruits and even some vegetables. And it's tragic because fiber actually helps the whole process. And that's something we've talked about in other videos as well. And we've recommended the book Mastering Diabetes, which delves into that quite deeply. So anyway, I'm on a soapbox here, but I just am so grateful for plant-based eating and how easy it makes for me to keep my calories under control, my blood sugar balanced, my fiber intake high. Everything runs well, works well because of this plant-based lifestyle. So we're done. That was how quick that is. Put this on an English muffin. We're going to have peas with it and some pears. Pears are my favorite fruit in season right now. Actually, a pear and an orange and some peas, and I already ate some cucumbers before I cooked this. So yeah, that's a 4 fruit and veggie meal, and that is just awesome. So thanks for joining me. I'll get those numbers for you with the egg versus the tofu and show you our plate. Here we go. There's those wonderful eggs on the English muffin. Got frozen peas. I really lean into frozen vegetables in the winter, so we'll often with our meals, even breakfast, have broccoli or peas or mixed vegetables or stir-fry vegetables or whatever. It doesn't matter. Just utilize those frozen vegetables in the winter, particularly. You'll be glad you did. We often have carrot sticks and stuff like that too, but for variety, this is awesome. And that's probably about half a cup. It's probably actually a little bit more. Half a cup is a serving, so adds a lot of protein and stuff like that. Small pear and deliciousness. So thank you so much for having this lunch with me. And keep going in your plant-based journey. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. And I'll go ahead and make sure this is good. Sorry. You'll love these eggs. You will love them. They are, they're not eggs. They're tofu, but they're so flavorful. And my husband likes Cholula sauce on top, so you can put hot sauce on them too. And this is a high protein, low calorie meal that will keep you full for hours and hours and hours. Have a great day, guys. Almost forgot. This keeps really well in the fridge. You can keep it in the fridge for a few days. We usually eat about 100 grams of it at a time. And the rest I just put in a little container in the fridge and we can eat it for a couple days. Hey there. So I was going to just put some numbers up to show you the comparison with the eggs versus the tofu, but I actually decided I wanted to just comment on a few things. The first one is, so I did the comparison of 100 grams of eggs versus 100 grams of tofu. And just so you know, 100 grams of eggs is about 2 large eggs, and 100 grams of tofu is it's a little less than a quarter of a block. So not quite 4 ounces. So there you have the comparison. So when it comes to calories, the eggs are twice the amount of calories. So for 2 eggs, it would be 143 calories for the tofu, the 100 grams of tofu, it would be about 76 calories. Then the protein is the next big question. So the 2 eggs have 13 grams of protein and the tofu has 8 grams of protein. So in my mind, I would double the tofu. So I would eat closer to half a block of tofu, and that would be the same amount of calories, and it would be 16 grams of protein. So if protein were my main concern there. Fat wise, the eggs have 10 grams of fat and the tofu has 4.8 grams of fat, and most of the fat in the tofu is unsaturated, so that's heart healthy. In the eggs, 3.1 grams of the fat would be saturated. Carbs, the tofu has a little bit more carbs, but that's pretty negligible and not high for either one. The tofu also has a little bit of fiber, and the eggs have none, of course. Cholesterol, this will not surprise you. Cholesterol, the eggs have 373 milligrams versus 0 cholesterol in the tofu. The calcium, iron, potassium, those are actually, it depends on, the calcium just depends on the brand. So it can be much, much higher. It looks like 6 times higher than the eggs, but that depends on the brand. And then the iron is about the same. Potassium about the same. Vitamin B12 and vitamin D, there's 0.9 micrograms, is that what you call it? I don't know. And 2 micrograms of, well, there's the B12 and then the vitamin D. And there's 0 in the tofu. But that also won't surprise you if you follow plant-based eating it at all. You know that it's common to supplement the B12 for sure. In fact, it's a necessity. And then it's common to, actually, nobody has enough vitamin D, even animal-based eaters. So it's not a bad idea to supplement vitamin D. And then folate, magnesium, those are, there's more folate in the egg, more magnesium in the tofu. And then sodium, there's almost none in the tofu, but there's 140 milligrams in the egg. So there you have it. And in my mind, it's clear that the tofu is the better bet for me. And if I am concerned about protein, I would just eat more of the tofu because I can afford it with the calories and the fat, or continue to add high protein things to that meal. So as I said before, we typically eat about 100 grams, which is about a quarter of a block. So that's something to keep in mind. So, or 4 ounces, give or take. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.